dog pile, some viewer questions. Mark writes in, we have some rancher friends in West Texas that only have dial-up service available to them with, oh, get this, 33K service.
Ow.
Ouch. The cable company wants $5,000 to run the cable up their half-mile drive to their house. Is it possible to install a wireless router in a small house they have at the entrance near the cable access and transmit the broadband signal up to their house? Could they attach an antenna to the router to make this trip? And if so, how large would the antenna have to be? If this is possible, our poor dial-up saddled housewife would be the happiest lady in West Texas. Thanks, Mark.
Dial-up saddled housewife.
You know, I have a lot of friends who only have access to dial-up, and you know, I haven't used 33K dial-up in a while, but I don't miss it either.
My wife and I looked at a place for rent, and we realized the only way we could possibly live there was if there was a tower nearby. We would have to sneak up on the tower, put a directional antenna, something like this, and aim it towards this place in like downtown, you know, a city or the
Steal
small
the city's
city.
Wi-Fi?
Not the city's Wi-Fi, but we'd have to cut a deal with somebody to get Wi-Fi from the middle of town, like, you know, go in on somebody's Wi-Fi.
So it's doable.
It's extremely doable. Look, the great thing about so much of Texas being so flat is that it makes it easy to send Wi-Fi over long distances. Wi-Fi is a line of sight technology. Trees mess it up, houses mess it up, barns mess it up. But if you can basically see what you're shooting to, and you might have to put a little, you know, antenna extender on top of the house or on top of the
realistically,
gatehouse.
a few miles?
I've done a mile with cheap antennas and Wi-Fi, like consumer Wi-Fi adapters and cheap antennas. This is a 14 dB directional antenna, so it focuses all of the radio energy pretty much in a very narrow cone. And so one of these on the house and one of these on the gatehouse would pretty much take care of it. And you'd probably bridge a couple routers. The trick with routers is actually finding one that will allow you to add an external antenna, or if you have to mod it. You know, it's kind of funny, right? Receiver sensitivity, because your worst case scenario is maybe you end up with a cheap notebook in the gatehouse, right, connected to the cable modem or whatever's down there, and then you connect that to the cheap notebook with the cheap card connected into it, connected to the antenna. And by the way, you're going to have to use the most expensive stuff that often is the cable you use to connect the antenna to the Wi-Fi card, whatever type it is, because LMR coax cable, basically the longer the run, the thicker the cable you need to use, and this stuff can easily get up to like $1 a foot, because if you try to use regular coax, basically you lose all the signal. Like the 2.4 gigahertz signal, 5 gigahertz signal is lost pretty much in the first few feet.
Can you terminate this stuff yourself?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can terminate yourself. You can have it done.
Pretty beefy.
I've done. Yeah, they are extremely beefy connectors.
Like an air nozzle.
These are end connectors. Well, they're designed. They're basically designed to shield and hold this high frequency signal inside of there. And there's soldering ones, and there's basically ones that crimp themselves. Here's the thing, right? Yes, you can do it. We did basically an episode of Systm, one of our first episodes, and we basically connected this 1 mile run from one notebook to an antenna we stacked on the outside of the building. The FCC is going to say do not mix and match unapproved antennas. Basically, all antennas and all cards or routers are supposed to be tested by the factory. I'm going to say this is commonly ignored, and we'll put some links to some places where you can purchase antennas to get this set up. But definitely receiver sensitivity is the #1 thing to look for when you're doing long distance Wi-Fi, followed by antenna sensitivity, and then the very least useful thing is turning up the amplification in your card or router.
Nice.
And you probably, for what you're doing, is you're probably not going to want an omnidirectional. Definitely go with a directional antenna of some type. And make sure it's grounded properly. If you're in a part of Texas that gets thunderstorms, yeah, that would be bad.
Wire and lightning do not mix.
That would be bad. All the computers went bye-bye, and then you'd have a really sad housewife.